Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to episode 5. It's Reality Check with your girl Davina 2.0. As you can see, my friends are not here and I do apologize. Due to the pandemic and other personal reasons, we have decided not to have them on the show. So instead, you'll just have me. On the last episode, I spoke briefly about my depression. Due to time restraints, I kept it really quick. I didn't really dig deep into it. But after that episode, a lot of people did reach out to me about depression. I really didn't know some people was going through it. So because of that, I decided to dedicate this entire episode to depression. So what is depression? Depression is a mood disorder. A mood disorder that causes you to experience lots of sadness. And with that mood disorder, it's definitely a spectrum, right? You can be depressed. You may need clinical support. You may need medication to kind of knock out that depression. And then you have like that midpoint where you are depressed and certain activities and certain things you do can kind of get you out of those things where you have control of it. Then you have the very, very beginning end of the spectrum where you're depressed, but it's just a feeling. It comes and goes, the ebbs and the lows. And that is totally normal. So what are some signs of depression? You have isolation, irritability. Sometimes your sleep patterns may be off, short-tempered, a long state of sadness where you're just very sad most of the time. For me, I want to say I felt right in that middle point. I didn't need any type of psychological or medication or any clinical support. But then again, it wasn't just hit and miss. It wasn't hit and miss. It was definitely right there in the middle where it was certain activities and certain things that kept me going. And I wasn't isolated. I wasn't like to myself, but in the inside I was to myself. So I wasn't myself anymore. I wasn't being the jolly, happy-go-lucky Davina. I was definitely kind of different. I didn't really want to be around a lot of people. If it wasn't my family, I didn't want to be around them. I wanted to be just to myself for the most part. So for me, that was the sign for me. How did they know I was depressed? I just wasn't myself. I wasn't joking as much. I just really wasn't being that social butterfly that I usually was. Now, with depression, amongst the black community, we kind of shun away from it. No, that's depression. That's for white people. That's not true. In fact, that's actually ignorant. Depression is real and it can happen to anyone. Remember, our bodies, our minds are made to feel emotion. And with the emotion, we can feel happiness, we can feel sadness, we can feel joy, we can feel anger. And with sadness, the feeling of sadness, that may cause some depression, and that's totally normal. So please, let's not look at depression as a white thing, because it's really not. It's not a race. It has no race. It has no gender. It has no true definition other than the fact that it's a mood disorder, and anyone can suffer from it. So how did I fight depression? Honestly, it's a constant fight. I'm not going to look at you and tell you that I'm cured, I'm good. No, it's a day-to-day thing. I did suffer from something so traumatic. And with the trauma behind that, sometimes it comes to me now and it does put me in a mood. But I won't say I beat it, but I'm definitely dealing with it. So I won't say I'm still fighting it, but I also won't say that it's hurting me the way it used to. So what caused my depression? As you guys know, I suffered a hemorrhagic stroke. And with the hemorrhagic stroke, the fatality rate is about 73%. The survival rate is about 27%. So basically, it's a higher chance of death, and it's a very low chance of surviving. Even when you have a stroke, you may survive it, but within 3 days, you can be dead. Fortunately for me, that wasn't my case, but that definitely, for me, that played a part in my depression. I was so close to death, and it really scared me. Because death, for me, not saying it wasn't real, I know you have to die, but it never hit me so close to home. And that thought of knowing that technically I don't supposed to be here, that thought alone really bothered me. It really got with my mental. The thought of knowing that I was this close to dying. I was this close to being out. My mom was this close to planning a funeral. My daughter was this close of not having a mother. Those thoughts really playing with my brain, and those thoughts really made me more depressed. What ran through my mind most? The question of why. Why me? Why? What did I do to deserve this? Why me? Why? That question alone really drove me, I won't say insane, but it definitely drove me to depression because I didn't have an answer. I thought God was punishing me. I thought I did something wrong to someone and it was coming back to get me. It really hurt me. And that thought of why really made me depressed. It went from why to how. How did this happen? How can I fix it? What do I have to do to make things right? So the whys and the hows turned into whens. When can I get it done? When would I be back normal? When would I be able to walk? When would I be able to talk? When would I be able to be myself again? The when put me in a state of depression because I put pressure on myself to be something that I wasn't ready to be yet. I didn't give myself time to heal. I didn't give myself time to feel the pain, to really sit there and embrace what I was going through and understand that this is normal, and with time you will get better. In my last episode, I told you guys, don't wish people a speedy recovery. Instead, just wish them well and be patient with them, because recovery is not speedy. No matter what you're going through, it's not speedy. Based on the person will determine how fast your recovery is, and you need that time to really go through whatever you're going through and soak it in and really embrace it. So don't wish people a speedy recovery. Just wish them well and pray for them and be patient with them. So what I want to tell people that are going through depression, because people did reach out to me, I'll be very honest with you. I'll be transparent. It's going to hurt. First, it may hurt, but in the end, it changes you. If you embrace that change, I promise you will come out strong. Hence my book, The Fire in Me That I Didn't Know Exists. That's the reason why I'm writing this book, because it did change me. At first, it hurt like hell. I cried plenty of tears by myself, in the shower, in bed. I thought about suicide. Like, it did hurt. I'm not going to tell you it didn't hurt. It did hurt. Even now, when I think about it, it hurts. To know that I went through something so traumatic and I wasn't who I thought I was at that time, it really did hurt me. So what I want you to know is that it may hurt at first, but in the end, it changes you. First, it will hurt, but in the end, it will change you. And that change will strengthen you. And what I want to tell people that's on the outside of depression, I want to talk to them most, because what you don't understand, that you may not be going through depression, but you on the outside can really make a big impact on the person that's going through depression. Your words can make or break them. Your words can definitely determine if they fight or if they stop. So the people on the outside that's not going through depression, first remember that it may be me today, but it may be you tomorrow. I'm going through it today, but it may be you going through it tomorrow. I can tell you honestly and openly, I went through it, and there were people who said many mean things about me. And later on, they went through and they reached out to me and they needed my support and my advice, because guess what? No one's exempt from pain. No one's exempt from going through it. This thing we call life, we go through it, and that's normal. So on the outside looking in, be silent. Don't pass judgment, and don't make someone store your hot gossip and your hot tea. Don't gossip about what people have going on. Do not make it the hot tea of the day. Oh my God, Davina had a stroke. It's not funny. It's not gossip. It's not tea. It's not the next best news. It's someone's reality. It's someone's life. And your words can definitely make or break them. Those outside words can definitely make or break what they do next. I know that Maya Angelou said that people may not remember what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel. Now, how do you make people feel really comes from what you say, right? I may not remember everything you said about me, and I promise you I can't tell you what you said, but I know I heard some things, and those things did hurt me. I do know, I can say this now because it's been a year and 5 months after my stroke, that there were rumors that I died on August 3rd. People were saying, oh, Davina died. That's hurtful. I heard people say things like, she can't do this, she can't do this. Oh, she don't look the same, she gonna be ugly now, like, you know, like, it's so ignorant. It's just pathetic that we have that much hate in our heart that we can say those things about people. You don't know. If I'd have had my family, you don't know what decision I would have made when I got out of it. Hearing those rumors, I could have definitely killed myself. But because I had so many positive influences around me, I didn't let those things get the best of me. But I say this because not everyone has the support I have. So be kind with your words. If you have nothing nice to say nothing at all. If you're on the outside looking in, be silent. Be silent. If you really want to help, pray for them. Pray for them. Reach out to them. Shoot them a text, send them a voice memo, call them, leave them a voicemail, but I ask you to be patient with them. They may not answer for you. They may not respond. Don't take it personal, because it's not you. It's them. They're going through it with themselves. Don't take it personal. Been there, done that. I had people on the outside looking like, oh, Davina's acting stank. She's this, she's that. I wasn't acting stank. I was taking time to love on me. I was taking time to really embrace and really understand what I went through, because it was a lot. So how can you help? Be silent and use words of affirmation. Affirm and encourage. Don't tear down. Don't use your words to tear down. Use your words to build people up. How am I doing now? On my worst days, I give it my best. On my best days, I continue to give my best. It's a struggle. It's a day-to-day process, because this is something I'm dealing with every day. There's things that I still deal with because of my stroke. And again, some days I'm a warrior. Some days I'm a mess. But either way, every day I give it my absolute best. Someone asked me, what was your biggest accomplishment? You look at me like, oh my God, Davina's walking, she's talking, she's back driving. But that wasn't my biggest accomplishment. My biggest accomplishment is I fought demons alone that no one knew about. And I didn't take anyone out with me. I didn't demean anyone. I didn't hurt anyone in the process. I wasn't mean to people. I was kind. On my worst days, I was kind to everyone. That is my biggest accomplishment. I fought demons alone that no one knew about. And in the mix of fighting those demons, I did not hurt anyone in the process. I know sometimes hurt people, but in that process, I didn't do that. I kept it together and I kept pushing through. That is my biggest accomplishment. So for those of you who are going through it, because this episode was for you, I made a list of tips that I'm going to share with you. Tip number 1, surround yourself with people that are positive. Keep yourself around positivity. If you have that one friend that's always negative, that's always speaking about something that's negative, get rid of them. Remember that not everyone's there for you forever. Some people are there for you just for that season, just for that moment. You may go through things, and when you're going through things, people may exit your life, and that is okay. Let them go. Allow them to leave your life. Don't beg them to stay. If God wants them to go, let them go. That is okay. You need to surround yourself around positivity, things that are positive, people who are positive. Another tip is don't be embarrassed. We all go through it. There are people crying themselves to sleep at night. There are people who are in the shower crying because they're going through it. And it may not be because of a struggle. Maybe they lost someone. Maybe they lost a loved one. Maybe they lost their job. Maybe they're insecure. Maybe they're dealing with something that you don't know about. Maybe their job is really stressful. Either way, we're all going through it. So don't be embarrassed to say that I'm going through it. I read on Facebook a post that says, I'd rather hear your story than hear your eulogy. And that set with me, because the next tip is find a person, find someone you can trust. Find someone that you can talk to, that you can pour your heart out to, and you can let them know this is how I feel. Let them hear your story so they don't have to hear your eulogy. Sometimes you don't need advice, you just need to get it out. Another tip can be, if you have insurance, go see a therapist. There's nothing wrong with seeing a therapist. You go to the gynecologist, you go to the physical doctor, your doctors, you go to the neurologist. We have all these doctors, but we stray away from going to see a mental health therapist. Why? Don't be embarrassed. Go see a mental health therapist. You don't have to see them often. You can see them maybe once a year, twice a year. Whatever you see is best for you. And when you're looking for this therapist, find someone that's a good fit for you. If you have no one, I do have a therapist, and I also know a psychologist. Reach out to me and I definitely share that information with you. But don't stray away from seeing a therapist. There's nothing wrong with it. Another tip, words of affirmation. Affirm yourself. Write down things you love about yourself. Write down things you hope to accomplish one day. Write down things that you have already accomplished, because it gives you a reason. It gives you a reason for living. It gives you a reason to continue to push forward. It gives you a reason to know that there are better days ahead. Write down moments that you remember that was so great for you. Write those things down. And when you get sad, read those things, because again, it gives you a reason. I tried it and it works. Another tip, pick up a hobby. Running, biking, exercising, reading, writing. For me, I bike, I exercise, I read, and I definitely write. I am a writer. And that's the reason why I write in my story now, because I like to write. Another tip I can give you, I didn't put this on the list, but I do this. I do voice memos. If you have an iPhone, you have a feature on your phone where you can kind of record yourself and talk to yourself. It's okay to do that. Meditate. Take time to yourself. No phones, no TV, no radio, just you, yourself, and your thoughts. And meditate. They have things on YouTube where you can search meditation. You can sit there quietly and just meditate to yourself. Take that time to really listen to yourself and be one with yourself. Another tip, pray. Just talk to God. He's listening. Take time out and just talk to him. Tell him what's on your heart. Look in the mirror and just talk to him. It doesn't have to be a beautiful prayer. Thank you, Jesus. Just you and God, and talk to him, because I believe that God hears us. Talk to him. It helps. I said this already, but if you are having bad thoughts, think about things that make you happy. And ask your things that do make you happy, because there's something that make you happy. If it's food, if it's going to the movies, write those things down so you can have something to look forward to. And if you are one of the ones that are very severe, because I've been there, done that, you're thinking about death, you're thinking about walking away from it all and saying, I'm over it. Remember that this feeling that you're feeling is only temporary. It's not forever. And the number you can call is 1-800-273-TALK. Or you can text that number and they will text you back. 1-800-273-TALK. That number, you can either call it or you can text it and they will talk to you. Been there, done that. I had all these suicidal thoughts, thinking like, I don't want to be here. This is too hard. It seems hard, but I promise you, if you hold on, it will build you and make you stronger. You will be someone's testimony. You will be someone's reason. So just hold on. Remember that feeling you're feeling is only temporary. You're only feeling it for a moment, but I promise you it won't be that feeling forever. If you could just hold on a little longer, you'll beat it. You'll get out of it. And remember, like I said, at first it may hurt you, but in the end it will change you. Embrace that change and you will become a stronger person. So what I want you to get from this episode, press on. Don't be depressed. Press on. Press on. Don't give up. Don't quit. Love on yourself and don't quit. Lauryn Hill said it best. Fantasy is what they want, but reality is what they need. Embrace reality, baby. Give them what they need. Don't lie to them. Don't tell them you're okay if you're not okay. Find that person and keep pushing forward. How can you reach me? I have my Instagram, Davina 2.0, Davina_2, TWO.0. Facebook, It's Reality Check Podcast. Gmail, It's Reality Check Podcast at gmail.com. My website, www.itsrealitycheckpodcast.com. Those are so many ways you can reach me. If you know me personally, you have my cell phone number, call me, text me. Because again, I'd rather hear your story than hear your eulogy. I will take time out and I will listen to you if you have my number. And if you can write me, I have done it before. I will listen to your story. I will read your story. I will respond and give you the best advice I know how. I'm not a therapist, but I've been there. And I have my own testimony. I would love to share it, and I would love to be a helping hand if I can. So until next time, guys, I love you. I'm with you. I believe you. And I know that there's a reason why God has you here. Press on. Embrace your reality. Peace. Be well.